Today, I would like to talk about another interesting topic in the field of language learning, and that is impatience. And why do I want to talk about impatience? I basically because of the fact that I come across some people that just tell me, "Oh, I just I wanted to learn a specific language, whatever it is, French, Spanish, whatever." And I just don't think I have the patience to learn something anymore. Like maybe, after my master's or after university, I just feel that I don't have the patience to learn. And I personally find that I'm, I must confess that I'm not a very patient person when it comes down to it. And I actually find that my impatience has actually helped me learn languages more quickly and more successfully, if I may say. For whoever doesn't know, I speak a few languages, and what I find is that often I would have a resource, perhaps a language book, in the language in the target language that I'm trying to learn, and then my I would be doing the exercises, and my impatience would kick in, and it'd be just like, oh God, like, they really feel like doing this. They really feel like doing this exercise, or the impatience would creep in whenever I would be reading a text or listening to some content, and I find that this led me to essentially look away from whatever I was doing, and I try to focus on what I really wanted to learn. So in that way, in that regard, I think that impatience was actually a good thing. It helped me find things that I really wanted to learn instead, and I focused on that instead, on whatever I really wanted to learn, whatever I was really passionate about, or even I basically led me to find methods and resources that I really liked and that were right for me at the time. So I'm not saying, of course, that the second that you feel a little bit bored with a specific resource or whatever, that you should turn away from it immediately. No, I believe that we should always give things a try, right? But I think that we should be very conscious of the way we feel throughout the learning process, though. And I think that a lot of people will force themselves to sit there through an exercise that may not be the most useful, but just out of because they think that they should be plowing through that in order to achieve whatever goal they have. Okay, so maybe they're doing hundreds of verb conjugation drills every day, and they're sitting there patiently, not really listening to what they actually want to learn. Perhaps they would rather focus on learning conversational French or whatever instead of conjugating verbs, and but instead they're there sitting conjugating verbs all day. I think that our impatience can lead us to uh, find shortcuts that are going to be actually beneficial to language learning. And so, for example, another aspect of it is that being impatient led me to find things that I really wanted to know how to express. Okay, so maybe it would be at a basic level, but and I would be going through content, and then suddenly I would be thinking like, how do I say, um, I don't know, like a specific concept in the language that I'm learning, something that to me sounds important and something that I want to express in a different language. Let me think of a phrase that I thought was kind of interesting. Yeah, like one time in German, as I was learning German, I just decided to learn the phrase, uh, I cannot stand this sort of behavior. Just because I thought it was a funny thing to say randomly, like, hey, I can't stand this sort of behavior. And so basically, I learned that phrase in German, and perhaps when I was at a level in which I shouldn't learn that because it was too advanced for me at the time. But that didn't matter, you know? Like my alleged impatience would trigger me to try to learn things that I wanted to say, things that I wanted to express. And in that regard, my impatience, I think, paid off in many ways. And like I said before, of course, we shouldn't turn away from resources whenever we feel a little bit bored. Of course, that many times we're going to have to be patient and keep plowing through content that that we may not be enjoying 100%. But I think that we should always be striving to find material and content that we do find exciting, that we don't feel that bored with as we learn a language. So that's it. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about impatience. Good luck, my friends, learning a language.